So Ninja Kiwi is giving us yet another easier boss, but we can fix that. Well, we can make the boss a little bit more difficult for ourselves, which is what we normally do when the boss events are like this. And I say easier than usual because, well, look at the modifiers. We're playing with 90% of the mob speed, the health, and the boss speed, and we're not exactly used to this, right? We're used to some other stuff, so it's kind of nice. In the past few weeks, they've been, well, nice to us. They also banned the Spike Factor, which is OP versus Ledge, because that's the boss, and then the Beast Handler, obviously the Megalodon is insane. Now, when I say we're gonna fix the boss being easy, I mean that we're just gonna make things a little bit more difficult for us by using Fast Track. So Fast Track allows you to start a quarter of the way in the game mode that you're playing. This works in all game modes and all this season, basically everything in BT6 except Chimps mode. And let's actually start things off like this. With the 0-3 marketplace, I was thinking of buying a Buccaneer. Actually, this village doesn't seem to be reaching, so we can go for something like this, maybe the 0-2-2 and the 0-3-2, and then I want to use these $1,000 to probably get an alchemist over here. Now let's start off like this. Not the prettiest start, but we are hopefully gonna make do. So I'm gonna start with a 103 alchemist. Actually, this guy is not gonna have camo detection. I don't want to be buying a second village, so I really want to give it camo D though. So I don't know, why can't we have two villages? I mean, I feel like that's not gonna be OP, right? I don't know, is it actually gonna be OP, a 2-2-2 village? Because it's just attack speed, camo, and discounts. It doesn't sound too bad. Wait, actually, now that I think about this, what's a tower is gonna be OP if you get it up to 2-2-2? Like maybe the boomerang. Oh, the boomerang is gonna be nice, right? The glaze, a lot of pierce, a lot of attack speed, and you can pop all types of balloons. Oh, that thing's gonna. So actually, this guy is gonna be OP 2-2-2. Oh, imagine hot shots, camo detection, you can pop all types of balloons. Has innate camo plus a lot of attack speed. That guy's gonna go hard. You know which tower is gonna suck, by the way? This guy's gonna suck because you're gonna have the distraction, the counter espionage, and I guess 202 is fine, but 222, I don't know, it's gonna be annoying with the distraction, I think. Yeah, so no camo D for the alchemist, so let's go like this. Let's oh, actually, should I have went for the engine now that I think about this? How do we want to defend the tier 1? The elite defender is right there, so maybe we should actually do the elite defender because our start is not the best. But before that, how greedy can we get before getting it? So let's go for it. This is gonna remain a 200 for now. If you need to sell it, we're gonna upgrade it to 202. And let me just keep being very greedy. So let's get the balloon trap. I know this is probably not, it's really not looking good, but hopefully I'm just gonna keep this guy, by the way, to 022 because I don't want him doing too much damage. And in comes the boss. We're probably gonna need to destroy farming big times. So I don't know, like 27k HP. The HP has been reduced by a tiny bit. It's supposed to be 30, so maybe that's gonna help, but I don't think it'll help too much. So let's have the sniper to strong, and let's just see if we can make it up to 14.7. I mean, the damage is going kind of nice. It would be really nice if we could get rid of like a skull or two before we get to the elite defender. Actually, is it gonna be? Because look at what's gonna happen. We don't have damage for elite soul, and he's gonna resummon stuff. Okay, we need to destroy farming like ASAP. So let's sell this thing. Even if we sell the marketplace, it's still not gonna be enough, by the way, is it? Move the sniper to first for a second, deal with this. Oh my god, this is not working out, guys. Is the mob even gonna pop? No, it's not. Okay, let's try it again, but let's be a little bit more greedy this time, because I think that because we bought the full auto, we were able to pop the first skull, and it created a lot of problems for us. So let's do this thing instead. Let's go for 2 more marketplaces, and then we're gonna sell all these guys, then we're just gonna instantly gonna buy the elite defender. All right, a lot better than previously. So let's do the same thing again. Let's go for the 204 sniper, and then hopefully we don't have to break up the whole thing apart. I want to sell just like 2 marketplaces. If we make it happen like that, that's gonna be amazing. So 1 marketplace sells for $4,000, and now we actually need to hurry up. So let's go. Oh my god, we still don't have the cash. Okay, we need to sell all 3 of them. Let's go on first. So we deal with the summons, and then go back on strong. We deal with the lich soul. We're gonna get a lot of extra attack speed when we leak some lives. We might have been a little bit late on this purchase, and I'm just taking a look at how we're doing with all these summons. I see some 45 balloons. The lich soul is on screen. We are getting the extra attack speed, and the buff is actually not getting siphoned by lich, so that's amazing. So this is the last skull. We're gonna get 1 more tick on the lich soul, which is gonna give us a lot of attack speed, and this is gonna finish up the boss. So let's turn off auto start actually, and let's just reconstitute the farming, because this is not looking good so far. All right, so here's how everything's gonna work out. Let's sell, keep this guy on close. I want to sell the boat as well. I want to buy the Minneapolis. This is, it's only gonna be, well, with, I guess with 2 discounts, which is fine. Buy it like this. Let's buy as many marketplaces as possible in the range, hopefully of both of these discounts, but it's not looking that hot, honestly. Have one of these guys go like this, and we could probably afford 1 more, but I was actually thinking of doing something like a yeah, so the idea is to keep the popping of the balloons separate from the farming towers up top, because we need the rubber to gold potion to coat all these balloons first. We need them, you know, we need as many of them to go into the balloon trap, and then whatever is left over to just go into the overdrive and get popped like that. So let's have the alchemist like this. I'm gonna keep it very cheap. Can I fit? Yes, we can fit in our farm in here. Go like this, and I guess the plan for the next few rounds is gonna be what? I mean, just, I don't know, spam marketplaces. I mean, we can go for a couple of central markets. Obviously, we want to get to the banana central and overclock it eventually, but we're talking like at least a few rounds, like 10 rounds into the future so far. Alright guys, so here's a quick update on what's been happening so far. We bought a bunch of central markets here on the top left side, and then I started building up like this farming station down bottom. This guy is gonna become the banana central, and I was contemplating selling all these central markets and just buying the banana central, but I eventually decided against that. I thought, let's just make sure we defeat the tier 2 boss first, make sure we have the money for it and just do everything correctly, and then we're gonna go back into the banana central and all the other farms. So let's buy up the mat. The mat is actually gonna be an easy solution for the tier 2, and we need easy solutions at this point so we can get our farming back on track. Yeah, attack zone is not gonna be enough by itself to defeat 63, especially because he has no alchemist, no supporting towers or anything, so we're gonna have to use some abilities. So let's buy the mat right now, and let's make sure we keep the ability ready to go for 63. Alright, so doing well so far. The mat is obviously doing the thing, and 63 is on screen. So here's what we're gonna do. We're actually gonna switch the mat to attack up top for a second. So there comes the first wave of ceramics. We get rid of it. Let's target it down to get some damage on the boss as well. Now wave number 2 is going to come in a second. I'm actually going to use the siphon ability from Benji, and I hope we get, yes, we got all the ceramics. That is amazing. I don't think the mad ability is coming off cooldown, by the way. So we're going to make a lot of money off of the lead balloons with the alchemist. The trap is obviously not going to be able to hold everyone, but the mad ability is coming off cooldown. Actually, maybe we have this thing. Let's target the ceramics. Yes, that was amazing. All right, so we were not forced to like buy another tower, and that's good because we get to save a lot of cash. All right, there we go. So stabilizing a little bit for sure. This is gonna be the last HP bar, and after we've dealt with this one, I'm actually gonna buy favorite traits both. I think it absolutely makes sense now. Maybe should have had a little bit earlier. And after this round has been dealt with, let's go like this. Can I find a good spot for this guy? I think this is, yeah, this is gonna be fine. So let's get the favorite traits, sell the mat, and let's get the banana essential down bottom. Now I want to be replacing all of these bottom path farms with top path farms essentially, but one of them is gonna go into the Wall Street, and I was thinking this guy, so he auto collect. So let's actually start selling up some of these ones, get the Wall Street going, and then let's just replace all of these farms with 420 farms, and I'm gonna do this all over the map, and I think I'm gonna see you guys for the tier 3 boss. Well, that's a lot different since the last time you guys saw this, but basically we've been placing a bunch of 420 farms. So I want to defend the next tier with the Dart Paragon, but I want to make the Dart Paragon a little bit stronger than usual. So typically something like, I don't know, some super low degree on the Dart Paragon is going to be enough for the tier 3, but I want to spend a little bit more cash with the sacrifices, the extra crossbow master, and I'm going to put a little bit of cash into it so that this thing is able to defeat the tier 4 by itself as well. So let's wait until we have 250k. The Paragon costs 150, then we're going to put like an extra 100k into it just like this, but all the money that we have, and that's going to be a degree 45. Now is 45 going to be enough for the tier 4 is the question, because I know for a fact it's going to be enough for the tier 3. I mean, it's actually going to demolish it, no problem. Wait, we're healing the boss somehow? How are we healing this guy? I sold the alchemist that was buffing the tag zone. What else do we have? Can you guys see what's healing him? I'm not actually sure. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, you know what? I think it was maybe some leftover alch buff on the tag zone, because I don't think there's any tower that has like even a passive effect that procs and that can heal the boss. But there we go. That was just like a super fast tier 3. I mean, look at this thing. It's like this guy didn't even make it all the way on this vertical track, and he got popped. So that's the tier 3, and up until the tier 4, we're just gonna fill up the entirety of the map with 420 farms. Hopefully, the Dart Paragon can defeat that thing by itself, and then for the tier 5, we should have a lot of money. We could be, doing a lot of stuff like maybe the Ace Paragon or maybe some other combination. So I'm going to see you guys in a second for that. Here we go. This is the big one. Tier 4 upcoming. So 4.3 million. And is the Dart Paragon going to be able to solo this guy? I think it is. By the way, it's a 45. It's definitely going a little bit slower than the previous one. Oh, and the Lich Soul is actually ticking once. We are not exactly worried about that because we have a lot of lives. Yeah, the Dart Paragon is looking like it has absolutely no issues versus any of these balloons actually. So let's buy something. Can I find like a single, I think I saw it here up top. Yeah, let's go like this. Let's actually buy the Flying Fortress. Should have done this a little bit earlier, I guess, but you know, better late than never, so let's just have it like this. Let's have it collect a little bit of pops. And then for the tier 5, we're obviously gonna go for the Goliath. That's gonna be super strong Goliath, maybe in combination with another Paragon, maybe in combination with a degree 45 Dart, by the way, which is not gonna do anything, but we're gonna have it on screen anyways. But yeah, look at this thing. This is going almost as fast as the tier 3, I want to say, because they popped at the exact same spot. So round 119, $3.5 million, and let's sell everything and see how much money we're gonna end up with. That is $4.5 million. So how strong of an ace Paragon can we get out of all of this cash? Let me place all the platforms first. All right, there we go. So now let's buy the Goliath. Let's put all the money into this thing. We're gonna have some left over actually, and that's gonna be degree 68. This guy should be able to solo, right? We even have a little bit of leftover cash. Should we? This sum has one pop, by the way. Should we make a sub Paragon? Like, yeah, let's make it. It's not gonna do anything, but it's gonna be like degree 1 or something. But yeah, let's buy it. Let's get a degree 1 sub Paragon, and let's use the rest of the cash to buy some damage amplification towers to go like this, and I think we're ready to go, guys. Yes, let's see if a 68 Goliath is gonna be. Yep, this is not even close. This Goliath is insane. Actually, the Lich Soul is not even thickened, which is gives you an idea of how much damage this guy actually has, because the tier 5 Lich Soul is quite powerful actually. So the fact that it's not healing at all, yeah, it just goes to show. So let's get rid of this next soul, and as soon as we get this guy out of invulnerability, I'm gonna use the Goliath ability. So let's bombard this guy. It's gonna be about 1 HP bar. Let's move the bombardment ability here towards the bottom in case we do get it again, but we're just speed running through a tier 5 boss. Yeah, we actually did manage to save this thing with the farming, so it wasn't as bad, guys. You know, starting with fast track, maybe the rubber to gold is a little bit too OP. I don't know what it is, but we managed to get this thing done, and that's just a fun boss event. All right, there it is. There we go. We defeat the boss with the Goliath, the Dart Paragon, and the sub 1.7 million pounds. There we go. The guy did something actually at the end, and that's gonna be it for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and I'm gonna see you on the next one.